to A Well-Designed Business. My name is LuAnn, and I'm so glad you found this podcast. Together with my husband Vince and our partner Bill, we have grown our company Window Works from the ground up. So I know and I understand the challenges you face in running your interior design business. I also know that your talent alone isn't enough to ensure your success. So on this podcast, we talk about strategies and practical steps to help you grow your business. But make no mistake about it, we have our share of fun here too, mixed in with those aha moments that I love so much. This isn't fluff. Nobody has time for that. Whether you are a new interior designer or a seasoned designer, I am here to help you create and to manage the kind of interior design firm that you dream of. It's straight talk and it's action. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, welcome to A Well-Designed Business. It is What Would Lou Do Day. This is the show where I answer your questions. If you have a question for me, please send it to luannigara.com/WWLD, and I will answer yours on air too. All right, before we get started, I just want to say, did you know that Kravet is here for you? Kravet is always there for you, but especially in these challenging times. They've been around for 102 years, and they want you to know, heck, I want you to know, that you can trust them to securely process your orders and keep your deposits safe. Take advantage of Kravet's digital tools by logging into Kravet.com. And don't forget to reach out to Kravet's customer service team with any questions. They're always available to help, and they are eager to help you. And I want to tell you too, don't forget we have our podcast code, AWDB10. All right? You can get 10% off any one purchase of Kravet, wallpaper, fabric, or trim. At checkout, the code to use is AWDB10. All right? Okay, so this week's What Would Lou Do is from Carol Ann Hirvat. Here's her email. I have a client that I met 3 years ago, and I did a ton of work selecting fabrics for her window treatments and blinds as well. The job was worth well over $45K. You see, this is why I tell you on WTF, you've got to get into window treatments, right? So Carol Ann continues, nothing came to fruition. 3 years later, the client contacted me and apologized profusely for wasting my time, but she explained that her mother had passed away and wondered if I would consider working with her again. Of course, I said yes, and then I invested another 15 hours helping her reselect blinds and reaffirm decisions made about draperies 3 years ago. You're not going to believe it. Another blackout in terms of getting back to me despite few texts and a voicemail checking in to make sure she was okay. I'm spitting nails. I love this line, Carol Ann. I'm spitting nails and wonder if it's me or should I just walk away? I'm so frustrated. What would Lou do? So the first thing I want to say to you, Carol Ann, is it is not you. No. It's not you. If it were you, she would not have called you 3 years later. So let's just put that out of our brain, all right? Now, do I have any idea why she would do this a second time? No, ma'am, I'm sorry, I do not. This is a conundrum, all right? So, but what I'm going to tell you is that my inclination is always to give the benefit of the doubt, especially because she resurfaced once with her tail between her legs and a good reason and seemingly genuinely sorry. So a second time? I can't think of any ulterior motive she would do this again because of that makes sense from a leverage or a negotiation standpoint. So I'm going to call it a gimme, meaning I'm going to assume the best of her and think that something else is her reason for ghosting you and that it has nothing to do with you or your relationship with her. All right? Now, having said this, just because I'm going to think the best of her does not mean I'm going to entirely let her off the hook, right? You see, because this was the second time, I would really want her and almost require her to tell me why. Meaning I would check in unapologetically, weekly at first, then bi-weekly, then monthly, and then quarterly until she answered me. Yes, ma'am, I would. I absolutely would. Now, having said this, this dogged pursuit of her does not mean that I would not be super kind and respectful. It just means that I would be tenacious in my follow-up in trying to get an answer. All right? So my first email might be, you've said you've texted and you left her a voicemail message. So if there's communication by email, I would go to email. If not, you could do it by text. But I would say, hey, I'm following up on the quote I emailed you on XYZ date. Did you receive it? Do you have any questions, or are you ready to place the order? I mean, like I'm saying to you, Carol Ann, verbatim. That's what I would say to her. I'm following up on the quote I emailed you on XYZ date. Did you receive it? Do you have any questions, or are you ready to place the order? That's the thing. It's very short. It's very sweet. It is, I want to know, did you get it? I want to know if you have any questions, and are you ready to move ahead? Don't put in anything extra that can cloud the response, okay? Now, because you've texted a couple of times and you've left her a message once, if you do this contact, I would probably wait about 2 to 3 weeks. And then I would say, hey, it's me checking in again. Hope everything is okay. Please let me know if you have any questions on the quote. If we place the order now, we can have everything ready for you by Thanksgiving. So now we're sort of setting up like, if you are actually just in La La Land, understand that your La La Land is going to have consequences. You see, because this email is designed to jar her if there is no reason for her not contacting you. You understand if there's a legitimate reason, again, God forbid, another tragedy, it doesn't matter. Thanksgiving, any other holiday, it's not going to matter. But if it is a lunch out, it's like, oh, wait a minute. You just sent this to me at the end of August and I have to think about Thanksgiving? Yes, ma'am, you do. 45K of window treatments? Yes, I'm sorry. We have to think about that in August, right? Now, if I get no answer to this, I'm probably going to let it go till about the end of September. And then I'm going to send an actual snail mail letter to her with a copy of the quote. And I'm going to say, hope you're okay. Wanted to make sure you got this quote that I had emailed you on XYZ date. Would love to hear from you. Love to know if you have questions. At this point, we're probably able to still get everything for Hanukkah, Christmas, New Year's Eve parties, whatever you think is the thing that will move her to action. All right? Now, does this go unanswered? If it does, see, this is where we're going to roll into, yeah, you're still going to have to answer me. But I'm going to realize that it's probably not top of mind and it's not really going to be an order that I'm going to put in my projections for year end. This is just one of those gravy things. If it happens, great. And if it doesn't, I'm not really worried about it. But I'm still on that. You just have to answer me, right? So I probably let this go until whenever. Do I do it in December before I close down for the holidays? Do I do it in January when I come back to work? Your call. But at this point, I would probably, if I've heard nothing, I would literally say something like, now you have me a bit concerned. Are you and your family okay? I know when we tried to do this last time, your dear mom passed away during our meetings and I did not hear from you. And now, again, this has me worried for you. Please, I certainly understand if the window treatments are on hold for whatever reason, but I'd like to know if you are okay. And of course, I want you to know if I can be of help to you in any way. Don't hesitate to ask. But please, just let me know what's going on. You see, because at this point, if I haven't heard from her until December, November, December, January, whenever it seems appropriate to send this, I'm actually really am wondering, is she okay? What happened, right? Like, you're a human being. This happened one time, and it was for a legitimate reason. And so there is a part of, I'm sure, of you, Carol Ann, that's like, what is going on? So don't hesitate to say it point blank, okay? Now, if that goes unanswered, that's a little different, isn't it? Because that is totally the opportunity to say, OMG, you're not going to believe it. God forbid with this pandemic, who knows what's going on? right? Any one of our customers, our clients, our friends, our neighbors, our family, right? So that could be what's happening with her at this point too, which, by the way, you could probably reference way before December. You probably could reference that right now, just saying more like along the lines of this COVID is just so hard and so many people are suffering in all different ways, from physical to mental to just business-wise. How are you? I haven't heard from you, right? So fast forward again, January, we haven't heard from her. Now I'm probably going to let it go till March or April. And I'm going to say, hey, Sally Smith, following up again. It's been a few months since my last message, and you come across my mind fairly often. I'm just thinking about you. Are you okay? So this isn't nearly as touchy-feely, because she had the touchy-feely. We had our moment. We did. I mean, I'm not like being flip about it. We had our moment. But if it's another 4 or 5 months, 3, 4, 5 months, it's March, April, whatever it is, she had plenty of time. But now I'm like a tiger with a bone. You're just going to tell me. So that's why I would say, hey, just you cross my mind. You cross my mind often, actually, because it probably does. Are you okay? And then if still nothing, I'm probably going to be like this time next year, right? June, July, August. And I'm going to send it again. And I'm going to say, I thought I'd let you know I thought of you again today, and I decided to act on it. I'd love to hear from you. And that's that. No more, are you okay? What's going on? It's just a simple, you crossed my mind. I decided to act on it. I'd love to hear from you. Right? Because here's the thing, Carol Ann. There isn't much else you can do. Right? You can't make her call you. You can't make her place the order. You can only be supportive on the chance that, my goodness, universe, cancel, that some other tragedy actually befell her, right? I mean, we are in a pandemic. God forbid, something could have happened to her. So that's my thing about, what you and I guys always say, my inside voice, outside voice. The inside voice is, you got to be kidding me. Like, I spent all this time with you, and then I did it all again, and then you totally just left me hanging. But the outside voice is, really, why did you leave me hanging? What happened? So remember that. That's the voice you want to go with, because I think giving the benefit of the doubt in this situation is your best tactic for the projection of the long-term relationship, all right? And I know this sounds kind of creepy, but I might Google her name and Google it with the word obituary, because you might find that, we've had 3 clients in our 39 years die during the middle of an order. Like, literally from the time they placed a deposit till we went to call for installation, and they were no longer on the planet. So God forbid she passed away from COVID. God forbid if, if you Google her name with obituary, you might come up with information, and it just might, take it off your brain from the standpoint of your initial email to me. Is it me? Is there something that I did, right? And then you also can send a note to the family, or to her if it was somebody in her family, right? The thing is, life happens. That's the point. And this just seems so odd. So I think the reason why you probably wrote to me is not in small part because of the frustration of just having invested all this time, but it just doesn't make sense. But that's what I'm saying is, of all the What Would Lou Do submissions that I've had, this really doesn't make sense. And so that's why I think there's a reason that we don't know, is my point, right? So the bottom line is that I'd focus on the positive things that I know about her, and I know about our relationship that we've already experienced together, but I'd keep trying to find out. That's just a little sales tiger in me that would be like, yeah, probably for a year I'd be following up. Okay? So I hope this was helpful, Carol Ann, all right? And good luck with this, and, sending white light and healing energy her way in case she needs it, okay? All right. And I want to say thank you to Article for sponsoring the show today. Article, is your go-to for furniture that can be delivered fast, easy, and direct to your client. As a matter of fact, I got 2 chairs delivered from Article today. I ran into my space there at the end of the day and I saw the boxes. I haven't uncrated them yet, but I cannot wait to uncrate them. And I cannot wait to show them to you on social because I'm getting ready to set up my new space that right before COVID, Sarah Lynn Brennan designed for me, and it's all coming together. So if you too are looking for mid-century styled furniture to update your office like I was, or your client's living room or dining rooms or outdoor spaces, Article is the place to do it. So open your trade account today. Go to welldesigned.article.com. That's welldesigned.article.com. All right. Hope this was helpful. Hope it got you thinking. Hope it maybe, something going on with one of your clients that it opened an idea or a window or something that you hadn't thought about. All right. And keep in mind, we are launching all kinds of courses this fall to help you build the business end of your business, the back end of your business. Okay. We've got Increase Confidence, Increase Profits taught by Desi Cresswell. We have Build Design for Profit taught by Jenny Slingerland. We have Cloud-Based Accounting taught 101 taught by Kat Anderson, and 201 taught by Peter Lang, the designer CPA. So please go to LuAnnNigara.com and click on events and coaching, and you will see all the opportunities for you to really sink your teeth into some business topics to up-level your business and make sure that you are doing things the very best that you can so that you can ensure your success and your profitability. How about that for a word? Profitability. All righty. Thanks tons for joining me today. I truly appreciate that you show up. I appreciate you. I adore you. I'm so glad that we're on this journey together. I hope that you will decide to be excellent. Thank you so much for joining me again today. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks, your resource for custom window treatments and awnings. To learn how we can help you on your next interior design project, go to www.windowworks-nj.com. And if you're interested in working with me on your business, either through masterminds or one-on-one coaching, or you want to know how to get my book, The Making of a Well-Designed Business, or you just want to know what's going on in the podcast land and where I'm going to be, all of that is found at LuAnnNigara.com. Thank you so much. Have an excellent day.